How are you, my friends? We often glorify expertise. Someone has a degree, a title, and a position, and that becomes the gold standard of who gets to speak, who gets to invited to panels, who designs policies. But there is another kind of expertise that does not always wear a badge or carry a certificate. It's called lived experience. As Nassim Taleb likes to put it, skin in the game. It simply means you have been there. You didn't study it from afar. You walked it. You felt it in your bone. You paid the price. That changes everything about how you see the world. Think about it. In business, we respect entrepreneurs who have gone through failure more than consultants who have only made slide decks. In sports, you will listen to advice from someone who has actually won the match with bloody knees over someone who just read the theory of winning. In politics, people trust leaders who have lived the struggle they speak about, not just campaigned around them. So why is it that in so many sectors, especially in mental health, people with lived experience are still treated like a case studies, not co-creators? Let me give you a real example. The UK's National Health Services has been experimenting with what they call peer support workers, people who've gone through mental health challenges themselves and are now employed inside the system, not as a volunteers in a corner, but as a formal members of the care team. According to 2022 NHS England evaluation, introducing peer workers led to around 30% increase in service engagement among young people who previously avoided mental health services because they felt judged, pathologized, or simply misunderstood. What changed? Nothing magical, just the proximity of experience. When someone walks into a mental health clinic and sees a peer worker who says, "Hey, I've been through depression too. I know the system feels cold, but I have navigated it. Let me walk with you." It shifts the energy. Suddenly, care is not just something done to you, but something done with you. That single shift from patient to participant is where dignity enters into healthcare. Now, let's talk about research so that it doesn't sound like a poetic speech. In 2019, Harvard Medical School professor Dr. Vikram Patel and his colleagues examining community mental health care program in India, Nepal, and UK found that involving individuals with lived experience in designing interventions improved relevance and adaptation of 40% compared to interventions designed by clinicians and policymakers. That's a massive number. Imagine a startup where adaptation rates shoot up to 40%. Everyone will lose their mind. Yet, when it comes to human systems like mental health care, we tend to look at humans as subjects, not solution architects. Vikram Patel has a beautiful line that I keep returning to. Those closest to the problem are closest to the solution, but often farthest from the power. That is deep, man, because that's the real issue. Lived experience, it's not just about storytelling and sharing. It's about redistributing power in knowledge systems. Right now, our systems, universities, healthcare, research, councils are all hierarchical and slow. They are built on a top-down logic. But technology is stripping the inertia out of the system and forcing a more democratic flow of knowledge. Lived experience cut through that old model. It says, stop delivering solutions to communities, build solutions with them. Someone who has been through psychosis or panic disorder does not just understand symptoms. They understand shame, silence, stigma, waiting list, cultural barrier, family pressure, and all those invisible forces that never show up in diagnostic manuals. A psychiatrist might write in a file, "patient disengaged from treatment," but a person with lived experience would say, "They didn't disappear. They were just scarred. Last time when they came, the place felt cold, nobody spoke their language, and someone handed them a form while they were literally holding back tears." Same event, two different worlds. Clinical accuracy versus human truth. Good thing is Australia is slowly moving towards a lived experience informed model, but UK is much ahead. If this model is working, why not use it everywhere? In 2021, the UK government issued a formal guidance stating that all major mental health service redesign process must include lived experience representation, not as a token, but as a decision-making voice. That sounds bureaucratic, but hidden inside that is revolution. The idea that expertise is not only academic, it can be emotional, cultural, and embodied. Let's widen the lens beyond healthcare. Let's say in UX designers are those who either use the product or watch real users struggle. An analogy. Nobel laureate Esther Duflo once said, the poor are not poor because they are lazy. They are poor because every system is designed assuming they have the same energy and cognitive bandwidth as the rich. That's another way of saying only lived experience reveals the hidden tax of being on the margins. We love to talk about innovation, but the truth is lived experience is the oldest form of innovation. Think about it. Farmers invented weather prediction long before satellites. Mothers invented physical therapy exercises long before physiotherapy degrees were formalized. People with disabilities invented accessibility hacks long before universal design principles become a seminar topic. So here is my big point. If we truly want systems, whether healthcare, education, or business, to be effective, then lived experience cannot sit on the edges. It needs a seat in design room, research boards, hiring panel, grant committees, and yes, policy making table. Because experience produces empathy, and empathy produces better system. Let me leave you with a visual. Imagine two types of knowledge. One learned by reading the map, one learned by walking in the terrain. Experts read maps, lived experience walks terrains. The future belongs to those who can bring both the same on the table, not to compete, but to complete each other. This is the world I would like to build, a world where lived experience is not a footnote in the report, but a driving force in the architecture of change. In next episode, we will talk about resilience and mental health. Thanks for watching.